Hello, folks. It's me again. Yep. Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm Detroit Miracle. I am here to talk about the problems that Donald Trump appears to be having with the FBI right now. There are a lot of people who are happy because they finally see that Donald Trump is being persecuted in some way. But I'm going to explain something to you all that might be contrary to what you believe. When the FBI usually raids you or raids one of your homes with a search warrant, then that means that they have some kind of indictment against you in which you have to face some kind of charges. In this case, with the FBI raiding Donald Trump, he was not arrested, nor were former charges presented to him. So that might be a case where the FBI knew they had nothing on him, but they wanted to mess with him in some kind of way, maybe to make him nervous. And then a lot of times that's a tactic. When you bother somebody, they become jumpy and they might reveal something because they feel you have something on them already. Meaning when law enforcement bothers somebody like, buddy, let me have a talk with you, and they flash a badge, whatever you did, you're going to believe that they know about it automatically, because why are they here if they were not aware of whatever crime you committed? So that's a tactic by the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. So if you stick to your guns and say, hey, I want a lawyer, then that tactic apparently will not work. Yeah, but with raids and things along those lines, especially with the FBI doing them, that usually means that it is an indictment, and then they are preparing to impeach or progress in some way. Like usually the raid will follow an arrest, and then you will later be made aware of evidence that is presented against you in some way. That's usually how it works. Yeah. But if they are just simply harassing you and trying to give you a hard time, which is obviously a complete waste of everybody's time, then they do not really have anything to charge you with. Yeah, that's usually how it works. And the reason I wanted to indicate this is because people are all over social media happy, jumping for joy, and doing flips over the fact that Donald Trump's home was raided by the FBI or the feds. Again, I'm going to say this, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have anything on him at all. And it might be some kind of clever ploy to make him look like a victim. Like when in the past, the FBI would bother those mafia bosses in ways, and then they would gain sympathy from the general public because they would be harassed constantly, and the people would be like, just leave those old men alone. They're not bothering anybody. But in fact, those old men would be some of the biggest killers, crime lords, and vicious criminals that there were. But nevertheless, the ploy can be turned around where they look like they're being victimized, those such types of criminals. Now with Donald Trump, he could use that as a PR move and say that the liberals were behind it and they sent those FBI agents to harass him, bother him, and give him a hard time. And at the time where his ex-wife had passed away and their family is going through problems and sorrow and they haven't had time to grieve, and despite that fact, the FBI came and intruded upon him at the worst possible time. He could even say that they could have gave him a couple of months to mourn his ex-wife's passing, but they didn't. So you see, it's about playing chess. It's about strategizing. It's about using cleverness in that whole game. So people don't fall for all of those misleading things that happen, but people tend to go for the okie doke every time. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in, and I'd appreciate it if you would give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to my channel, Detroit Miracle.